everyone, I have picked another page from Wonderful Wildflowers by Johanna Basford. Now this page I picked because it's got a lot more detail. Some of the pages are quite basic, or quite a lot of them, and quite a few people are like, it's a bit basic. But this one most definitely isn't. And I thought would make a fun 4-part series. Now 4 parts because there are 4 designs. So this design, this one are all the same, and this one and this one and this one. So, and then this one is different, and this one, and I don't know. Anyway, it's a repeating design. I'm thinking, are there 3? No, there's 1, 2, 3, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's only 3. I thought it was 4. Now I'm getting myself in a muddle. That one and that one and that one. That one and that one and that one. Well, it's only 3. Anyway, so it's be a 3-part series. And the idea is that I'll colour 1 of each design per video. And then the idea is you can do the rest in the same way or differently, however you want. That's the plan. So let's come in close and just get started with one of the designs. I've picked Staedtler Ergosoft for this particular page because, oh, let's get in really close. There we go. There's one of the designs. I picked Staedtler Ergosoft because I wanted something that could be nice and sharp, and I haven't used them yet in this book either. First, I'm going to do the background. So each little circle, I'm going to do a little background, and I'm going to do the same background on everyone, the same colour. So I'm just going to have a little think and a decide. I was going to do it in a green, like a little light green, make it look like a sphere of green, like topiary. And I think I will stick with that idea. I'm going to use, I'm dithering, either 56 or 50. It's going to be the number 50. Okay, so really for this, I'm going to start in the middle really and just do a light layer. It doesn't need to be too hard, I don't think. You can certainly do it harder if you want, but it's just so that there's a little flash of green in there. Now it may look very faint. I'm not pressing very hard. It's my intention for it to be faint. So you won't see very much. You could use a light pastel for this if you wanted, but I wouldn't do it now because you'll end up just smudging it, or I would end up smudging it everywhere. But the idea is that we've just got a little bit around the edge as well, just here and there, and just to give us a little bit of a look like it's got a little bit of a background. Yeah, I've got really confused then. I swear there were 4 different ones, and now I realise there's only 3. But my plan was to do a different predominant colour on each. So I haven't chosen the colours though. So we've got 3. So I'm thinking maybe we'd do a pinky purple, maybe we'd do a reddy orange, and then maybe we'd do a blue with some dark blue and light blue. Maybe I'll do that. I'm just thinking as I'm going, because I was going to do, you know, choose 4 different colours. Now if you don't get in all the little nooks and crannies, it's okay, because once you start colouring the florals, or once I start colouring the florals, I'll notice the places that I've missed, and I can just pop back in. So even in this floral where there's a few little gaps, I'm going to put a bit in there. So there is that. It's really faint, as I said. I've got a new lighting set up today. Let me know what you think. I really want to know what you think of it, whether you think it's better, worse, the same, you know. Right, let's make a start. Let's do purple pink for this one. So I'm grabbing number 6, which is the sort of darkest purple. I think it's called violet. I can't remember now. I haven't got my chart with me. And I'm going to do this one here with the sort of heart-shaped leaves. Layer it up a lot more and then fade it to the tip. And as you can see, this paper, you can saturate a lot more on this paper than I have there. I didn't want you to think that the Staedtler Ergosofts didn't go down well, because they do. You just have to layer them a little bit more, press harder. I mean, don't press really hard, but here I pressed as light as I could. So here I'm pressing a little bit harder and layering. You see I'm going back and forth over the same areas a little bit so that I can get a darker colour. I am wondering whether I do the flower centres the same for every flower, not just in this bunch, but in all of them. Like if I'm doing the background the same, maybe that would work. And I'm thinking, do I do all the greenery the same within each little bunch? But we've got this sort of joining bit here where the circles are joined together. I'm going to do this one the same because it looks like it's the same type of flower. So I'm having a little think about that while I'm colouring, just pondering. Yeah, I got a new light, so I'm using 2 lights, and it's been set up so that the light reflects off the wall rather than it beaming straight down on the page, and hoping that that gives a bit of a better look to everything and a bit less dark around the sort of edges. I mean, when I'm in this close, I don't think it makes much difference, but when you're seeing the whole page, I'm getting a bit annoyed with the fact that it looks really dark on the edges of the page, or if I'm showing the double page on the edges of both pages, that sort of thing. So I'm trying something a little bit different just to see how it works out. We'll see. Next, I'm going to go for the lighter purpley colour. I think it's lavender, 62. Now I don't want to do these because they're right next to the purple. We're going to do some pinks as well, so those could potentially be pink. We've got that one and that one. Ooh, right, I'm going to do this one, I think, with this. Now this is a much lighter colour, so as I fade it to the tip, it really will go quite delicate. So it's up to you. I'm going to saturate it a little bit more, but it's up to you how much you put down, whether you want to fade it and make it look really pale, or whether you'd rather put a bit more down, make it look a little bit darker. What you could do is put some of your darker violet at the base, and then you can get it a bit more saturated all the way through. But I quite like having some delicate colours. There we go, there's that one. Okay, now the next, we've got these sort of tulip looking ones. I'd quite like to just do those in this colour. This is the 20. Yeah, I'm going to fade them to the tip as well, but because they're really small, it's a little bit more challenging. I'm doing the best I can, that's all I can do. Same as you, if you're doing, just do what you can. It's as simple as that, really. Try as hard as you can. There we go. Trying to look for the time, but I've just moved my clock. There it is. Let's put my clock back. Ooh, I just knocked something on the floor. What did I knock on the floor? Oh, a carabiner. There was a carabiner on the shelf I put my clock on. It wasn't my shelf. I didn't know what was on there. I just, when we were we reorganised all sorts of things in here, so I had to move things. So we've got 2 sets of flowers left. We've got these and we've got these. I've only got one pink left, which is this one, the number 61. I should have a think. I'm going to do these. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Do I use one twice? Because of course, if I was using the Staedtler Design Journey, we've got more pinks. We've got a much lighter colour than this one, and that sort of thing. We do have a really dark blue that I think looks quite purpley, so I might just go cheat slightly. It's not really cheating, so I might pretend it's dark purple. I think it's called slate blue or something. I can't remember the names. I can this one, some of the names. I think this is called dark mauve, which is a strange name. I'd call it magenta, but that lighter one is magenta. So yes, I'm going to use this one if I can get hold of it. This is the number 33. And yeah, it does look blue. If you want to, and I might put some purple on top of the light one, the sort of lavender. I think I might do that. Right next to lavender here. but I think it'll be okay just to make it look a bit more purpley, because I might need to use this colour again for the one that I'm doing with blue. So yeah, sticking my tongue out now, concentrating on these little ones, trying to make them a bit darker near the middles. It's going to make it slightly more complicated doing 2 layers, putting the purple on top. I don't even know if it's going to work. Going to give it a try though. So it's the 62. I doubted myself then, but I did remember in the end. It's not showing up, is it? That's made no difference whatsoever. Don't bother with that. Waste of time. Okay. Now the leaves. I'm thinking I want a bluey green colour. I think I'm going to use the 5. I'm not going to go too bluey green. So here's the 5. And I'm going to make them darker here and lighter here. And I think I am going to do all the leaves the same within this little bunch. And then the next group we'll do the leaves in a different green, etc. So we used a different shade of green for each one, and then I think the joining bits I'm going to do different again. So hopefully it won't be as complicated as it sounds. Shouldn't be complicated at all, but you know how it is. Sometimes my brain gets a bit confused. Oh dear, I hope everyone's well. You should all have your books by now if you wanted to buy one. I have had a few people saying it's not for me. Fair enough. I can understand why when people say they didn't like this. Some people like, I'm daunted by all the flowers. Fair. I mean, there's a lot. If you're not flowery, if you're not into colouring flowers, then it makes perfect sense it wouldn't be for you. Other people saying there's too many simple designs and not enough detail. Yeah, that I can understand that too. I do like the simple design, not too simple, but simple. So that's fair. If you're good at doing backgrounds and drawing in things and that sort of thing, you could certainly go to town on this one. But if you don't like doing that, like me, you get a bit scared. No, it could be a bit, it's like there's too much space, you know. So that is interesting. I think it's interesting feedback for Johanna, but maybe she wanted to make it as different from World of Flowers and Secret Garden, because Secret Garden has a lot of detail in, and where obviously has spaces for you to draw, but most of it is a lot of detail. World of Flowers, again, still has a fair bit of detail in there, whereas this one doesn't. So maybe she just wanted to do something that would appeal to different people, that would be a bit different. Although some people have said it's very much the same. I'm not sure I agree with that, to be honest. I don't think it's too much the same. I'm going to use this yellow. This is the number 1. I'm sure this is called yellow. I think the ones that are the single number, so 1 is yellow, 4 is red, I think, 3 is blue, 5 is green. So I think and then you get like 52, which is I think willow green, but I can't remember now. So there. Anyway, so here's our yellow. Layer it on a bit so it saturates the paper. It looks far more glowy in my camera screen actually. It's got lights reflecting off it better. So that is our first little box. Now each of our joining little vines is very similar. I'm going to colour one today, but I probably won't do one any other day because they'll all be done in the same way. I think they're not all identical, but we can colour them in a really similar way, and I think it will be quite obvious what I'm trying to achieve. So this is my number 52, and this is the one I'm going to use for all of the viney bits. Okay, and I'm not going to use it for anything else, so it will just make these look slightly different, possibly. I mean, they're quite similar. It's quite similar to the 5, to be honest. And just fade the leaves outwards if you want to. And if you want to, you could saturate it and go over it with the, what's the number? 50 that we use for the background of here. I think I'm in two minds whether to put a little bit of 50 behind this. I think I will. So I'm going to grab this 50. Now we used this before for the background here. Oh, my phone's ringing. Oh, I am back. I'm trying to remember what I was doing. We're going to colour a little bit of background here, wasn't I? Now, if you want to, you could do the whole of the background. I think that would be quite difficult in these little pencils that are quite faint, and, you know, there's a lot of background to do and they're quite hard as well. But what I think I would do, if you want to do the whole thing, is probably use a soft pastel. I'm just going to just check what I've done here, see if I'm happy with it. You could make this darker if you want to. I am wondering whether to make it a little bit darker, but I probably won't. I think it does stand out just about enough as long as I go right to the edges like that. There we go. So I am going to make that one do for today's video, and then we're going to move on to another one. These remind me of the ones in Lost Ocean with the fish, seahorse and jellyfish, but obviously they're just all flowers. So I haven't decided which colour I'm doing tomorrow. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. They're all going to be work on their own sort of thing. But that's me for today. So I hope you have a super rest of your day. Thank you very much for watching. Do please like, subscribe and comment. Makes a huge difference. And happy colouring.